Good afternoon and welcome to our SADD Chapter Management 101 video series. Today's session is about accessing and utilizing the SADD portal. The SADD membership portal is fundamental to the experience of delivering SADD, or Students Against Destructive Decision, content in your school or community-based organization. The SADD portal is home to our membership system, our resources and toolkits for getting started, and is the best way to access quick links to materials that you need to have a successful SADD chapter. Now, to start out all of these sessions, I always like to talk about how SADD implements change. We do this through a four-pronged approach of empowering teams, those students that you typically work with within your SADD chapter, engaging parents in the conversation and making sure that our programs are always open to those parents and communication is making it to the parents, who act as often quite the important role model in the lives of our youth, mobilizing communities and getting our communities to believe in our mission and our programs and support those along the way. And finally, of course, changing lives. So what is the SADD portal? The SADD portal is home to three distinct functions. The first is membership management. Now with SADD in 2021-2022, there is no fee for chapter membership. So that means everyone in your school or everyone in your community group can be a member of your SADD chapter. And that's going to be one of the main functions that you're going to use in the SADD portal on an annual basis. We also have program guides and toolkits. SADD has several signature programs, including Is It Worth the Risk?, Rock the Belt, SADD Shines, and Text Less, Live More. All of those program guides and toolkits to help you implement those in your community are all going to be available in the SADD portal as well. Finally, the portal includes advisor training and resources and quick links to help you build a successful SADD chapter. And all of that is going to, again, be behind our SADD portal. So there are going to be two distinct groups that might be watching this session today. So we want to talk about those of you who maybe don't have a chapter but are interested in learning more about SADD, but also those of you who already do have a chapter and maybe just need help navigating the portal. So let's kick off with those individuals who don't have a SADD chapter yet and are looking to get started. We're going to call those the individuals who are creating a chapter or first-time chapters. If you are interested in accessing the SADD portal and all the materials, you are going to visit sadd.org, and up at the top, you'll find access to our advisor portal system. Once you've clicked that link, you're going to be taken to a software, and you're going to see a login section, but also a big red button for first-time chapter membership. If you are needing to start a SADD chapter, you're going to select first-time chapter membership, and you're going to answer all of those related questions in order to get your chapter activated. Now, as a reminder, in SADD, you don't have to be a school. You can be a community-based organization that's interested in having youth involved in making a difference in their communities. We try to process all of our chapter requests within about 24 hours or less. Typically, it's going to be considerably less than that, but do know that if you are starting a chapter, there might be a bit of a delay in the approval of your chapter and getting you assigned to all of the right elements in our SADD portal and onto our distribution lists. Whenever you have been approved, you do receive a welcome email with additional information from both National SADD and Missouri SADD about how to utilize our programming to its fullest. Now, once you have a chapter, so once you've been approved, or if you already have a chapter, you're going to be able to access the portal using that very same link on sadd.org, except you're going to log in with your email and a password that you self-select for yourself. You're always going to use that email, which traditionally will be your school email or a community-based organization email. And again, that self-selected password. If you ever forget, there is a forgot password button, so you're always able to retrieve that on your own, or you can always reach out to either the national or the statewide SADD office, and we can help you get that reset so that you can access the SADD portal. Might happen after the summer, maybe it's just been a while and you just can't quite remember what that password is to get logged in. Maybe you can't even remember what email it was. If maybe your school email has changed, we can definitely help you take care of that. There's also the ability for students to access our SADD portal. They're able to do that using their email address that you enter in the membership system. We'll talk about that here in a little while. And then you can create a password for your chapter as well, so they can access all the materials just like you can. Finally, every time that you log in at the beginning of the membership year, so kind of in August at the kickoff to the school year, you'll always be prompted to update your chapter's information. So if anything's changed like address or emails or phone numbers, it's always going to prompt you to answer and address those questions at the beginning of the year. Once you've completed that though, you won't have to do it again until the following school year. Now, once you're in the SADD portal, you're going to see a whole bunch of hyperlinks, and it can seem daunting at first, but we're going to focus on just a couple of these sections today in this introductory session to help you learn how to navigate the SADD portal. You'll see a bar running across the top of kind of tabbed hyperlink navigation, and that's where we're going to focus our efforts today because that's where you're going to find the majority of the information that you need in order to get your chapter kickstarted. That tabbed hyperlink bar, we're going to focus on 5 sections today. We're going to look at the student tab, and that student tab is actually how you manage your students' membership. So that's where you will enter your students for official membership to be part of your SADD chapter for the program year. We'll find chapter information. This is where you can update all those school bits of information, your phone numbers, emails, faxes, address, anything like that. It's really important to always make sure that's up to date. We are really making a concerted effort to get a lot of materials out to you, and that includes mailers and campaigns that might be coming physically to your chapter. We have a chapter advisor section, and this is where you can enter yourself as an advisor or any co-advisors that you might have that need access to the system. Our quick links tab has a lot of internal forms or links to external sites for extra resources to continue your program development. This is where you might find scholarship links or maybe links that just aren't publicly available at sadd.org, but are great for chapters who are trying to develop any programs in their school or community. And finally, the resources tab. This is where you're going to find all those toolkits to implement SADD programs in your school, but also where you will find training on how to be a successful chapter or a successful advisor. So let's talk about the student tab first. When you click on the student tab, you are going to see a variety of black buttons appear. For the most part, you're probably going to utilize the Add Students button. This is how you will enter students for membership. Once you have selected that, you have 2 different options to input your SADD chapter members. You can either utilize the individual member entry, and this means that you're going to key in each of your individual students and address all of the fields that are required in the SADD portal, and you'll see those displayed here on the screen right now. Or you can use option 2, which is a bulk upload. If your school allows you to export student information, such as emails and names and birthdays and things that might need to be entered into a system, you can actually bulk upload the CSV file, which is kind of like an Excel file, into the system so you don't have to key it in by hand. There is a template that you do need to download, and once you have that template, you can just copy paste all that information over, and you can drag and drop for the upload. Now, if you need help ever formatting that document, just let us know, and we're happy to help you at the state office in getting that entered, or you can always key them in by hand as you wish. Let's talk about the chapter information tab. Again, this is where you're going to be able to update information about your SADD local chapter. You might want to update, again, school principal or policies or demographics about your school that might be important for SADD. Things like if you have a seatbelt policy in your school, or if you have a principal that you want to receive information about what SADD is doing, it's a great place to enter that information. The address section is where you will update your mailing and billing addresses. This is something that you do need to confirm on an annual basis with us. Again, because we're trying to mail things to you, a lot of new resources, we want to make sure that you're receiving those. Finally, there is a section under chapter information for graduating students. Our system is quite intelligent, and it can tell when a student has reached their 12th grade year. And in the SADD portal, you need to tell us what you'd like us to do with those 12th grade students. You can advance them onto our alumni chapter. So if they're using a personal email, you can advance them into that and they can continue their work with SADD, or you can actually move them to a new chapter. So if your local college has a SADD chapter, you can actually set the system and allow them to then move their information about what they've done in SADD into that next chapter and their next component of their SADD experience. The Chapter Advisor tab is where you can enter those new advisors into the system. You can also add support staff. So if you have somebody who's maybe not an advisor, but is really helping you out, maybe you have a student teacher who's assisting with your chapter, you can actually input them here so they can have access to the same elements that you do as an advisor. Now, just remember, if you put people in this system, they're going to be able to see student information. So you want to be very careful and not add students into this section, but make sure that you're only adding those adults who technically have access to that information so that we can keep students' data secure in our portal. The Quick Links tab has a variety of relevant links to important things like scholarship applications or leadership opportunities, but it also has information about additional resources that you might like for your SADD chapter. You'll see information here like Red Ribbon Week or Start with Hello resources, which is part of the Sandy Hook Promise. There's a lot of different resources in this section, but they're going to take you to external places. But we still want to make sure you have access to all of those great resources because so what's so great about SADD is that you can customize the experience that a student has based off of your local needs. So if you ever have experienced a large issue with vaping in your school, you'll see resources for vaping from the federal government. You can customize the experience. You don't only have to stick with the programs that SADD keeps under that resources tab we'll talk about here in a second. That resources tab is where you will probably spend the majority of your time after you have inputted your SADD membership. Here in the portal, you will be able to, or in the resources tab of the portal, you'll be able to find all of the toolkits, media guides, graphics, and everything that you need to implement those SADD signature programs. Again, that's Is It Worth the Risk, Rock the Belt, SADD Shines, and Text Less, Live More. Is It Worth the Risk is our alcohol awareness program. Rock the Belt is a seat belt safety program. SADD Shines is going to be mental health and tobacco. And then Text Less, Live More is going to be distracted driving, but also distracted living. You can access those by navigating the portal and clicking on the links, and it will take you to all of the materials that you are able to download to run those programs. Now, these guides are very, very comprehensive. We'll talk about those here in just a second. Now here in Missouri SADD, we keep all of our statewide materials on our actmissouri.org/SADD website. So you won't find any state resources here. You're only going to find the national resources. All of our statewide resources are available publicly at actmissouri.org/SADD. When you download the toolkits for our programs, I want to make sure everyone fully understands that these are not just 2 or 3 page documents. These might be 30 or 40 pages, even more documents that walk you step by step through how to conduct our programming. This is going to include, again, media kits. So you'll find sample press releases, social media ideas. You will find invitation letters for community leaders. You are going to find the full step-by-step instructions. You will find alternative methods of doing something if it doesn't necessarily work in your school or your community. You will find worksheets to mastering the event implementation and tracking your progress, and you'll find ways to earn recognition. This is just a sample here of one of the activities of the Text Less, Live More package, which is Text Check. If you're already on our SADD distribution list, we did send you information about how to conduct a text check in your school, which is similar to a seatbelt survey, but it's all about if students are distracted, utilizing their phone or their radio or other information when they're heading out of your school building for the day. Want to thank you all for joining us for this first introduction to SADD experiences for chapter management. My contact information is available on this slide, so if you need additional chapter management support, we're more than happy to assist you. This has been SADD Chapter Management 101, accessing and utilizing the SADD portal. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.